Welcome to Bella's Spiritual Warfare Force. We're teaching on spiritual warfare, and today we're going to be talking about the mission of the spirit of Delilah. What is Delilah's mission? And I had just made a video on exposing Delilah, and today's video is going to be on the missions of Delilah and Jezebel, because Delilah and Jezebel are very similar. They do a lot of the same things. So I want to kind of just put it all together, and that's why I came up, because this is really exposing and giving the missions of Jezebel and the Delilah spirit and what they're up to. Because, you know, the Holy Spirit came to me about this in July, okay, and it was a really important message, and he showed me that the spirit of Delilah is loose on the U.S. So I wanted to talk about this, and it's, if you don't know what the Delilah spirit is, and where it came from, where it manifested, you can read Judges 16, chapter 16, verse 14 through 30. You know, people are being lulled to sleep, waxing cold, like it says in Matthew 24:12, and not guarding their mouths like they should be in Proverbs 13:3. Also, the Delilah spirit is often assigned with characteristics similar to those of Jezebel, such as pride, vanity, ruthlessness, and the spirit of rebellion, just to give you a background, okay? And I talked about this in my other video, exposing Delilah spirit. If you haven't watch that, it's great, it's good info. But, and if you don't know what the background is, let me go through it a little bit, okay? And Delilah then lulled him to sleep, took his 7 locks of hair, wove them into the loom she made it tight with a peg, and shouted, "Samson, the Philistines are coming!" But he woke up and pulled his hair loose from the loom. So she said to him, "How can you say you love me when you don't mean it? You've made a fool of me 3 times, and you still haven't told me what makes you so strong." She kept on asking him day after day, and he got so sick and tired of her bothering him about it that he finally told her the truth. "My hair has never been cut," he said. "I have been dedicated to God as a Nazarene from the time I was born. If my hair was cut, I would lose my strength and be as weak as anybody else." When Delilah realized that he had told her the truth, she sent a message to the Philistine kings and said, "Come back one more time, and he had told me the truth." Then they came and brought the money with them. Delilah lured Samson to sleep in her lap, and then called the man who cut off Samson's 7 locks of hair. Then she began to torment him, for he had lost his strength. Then she shouted, "Samson, the Philistines are coming!" He woke up and thought, "I'll get loose and go free as always." He did not know that the Lord had left him. The Philistine captured him and put his eyes out. They took him to Gaza, chained him with a bronze chain, and put him to work grinding at the mill in the prison. But his hair started growing back. The Philistine kings met together to celebrate and offer a great sacrifice to their god Dagon. They sang, "Our God has given us victory over our enemy Samson." They were enjoying themselves, and so they said, "Call Samson and let's make him entertain us." When they brought Samson out of prison, they made him entertain them and made him stand between the columns. And when the people saw him, they sang praise to their God. "Our God has given us victory over our enemy, who devastated our land and killed so many of us." Samson said to the boy who was leading him by hand, "Let me touch the columns that hold up the building. I want to lean on them." The building was crowded with men and women. All 5 Philistine kings were there, and there were About 3,000 men and women on the roof watching Samson entertain them. Then Samson prayed, Sovereign Lord, please remember me. Please, God, give me my strength just this one time more, so that with this one blow I can get even with the Philistines for putting out my 2 eyes. So Samson took hold of the 2 middle columns, holding up the building, putting one hand on each column. He pushed against them and shouted, Let me die with the Philistines! And he pushed with all his might, and the buildings fell down on the 5 kings and everyone else. And Samson killed more people at his death than he had killed during a whole lifetime. Satan, unlike most believers of Jesus, understands there must always be a root to someone's power, success, advancement, favor. In Samson's case, his strength. And his strength was his hair, but his problem was he told the wrong person, and we have to guard our lips, okay? A lot of people don't guard their lips. They open their mouth, and the enemy has monitoring spirits, aka familiar spirits, and they're listening too. You don't have to just worry about a person like Delilah, but you also got to worry about familiar spirits. So, unlike most believers, Jesus understands, okay? But Satan also understands that in order to retrieve this information, it is imperative that he causes us to connect to someone or something that we admire, respect, love, and more importantly, trust. Which is really a distraction to retrieve source of whatever it is that has us accomplishing, succeeding, and fulfilling our goals and dreams and desire. So Samson, who was clearly bewitched by Delilah, believed that this woman assigned by Satan was everything that he wanted in a woman. However, like so many of us, we refuse to see the obvious signs, and we are all guilty of this, and I know I am. I know you guys are probably listening to this going, God, man, did I do some boo-boos. So due to our love and care and our genuine concern about people, because we love people and we don't ever want to believe the wrong things of people. So our assumption that this person feels the same way about us, sometimes we leave ourselves open, So it's important, one of the most important common things someone is assigned, one of the most common signs that someone is on assignment by Satan in your life, clearly displayed in Samson's case, is that whoever that is becomes hell-bent on knowing the personal and private areas of your life while they reveal very little of themselves to you, okay? Or anything of their lives to yourself. This should be a big red flag, okay? And like I said, I tell you these things so that way you can see these spirits manifest in people in your life. How many times have you known people that, they want to know all this stuff about you, but they don't reveal anything about you? Those people, you have to be cautious, my friends and my beloved. When this person believes that they have been made privy to your secrets or the areas of your life that they were seeking, immediately trouble begins to follow you. So remember, he that guards his mouth is simultaneously guarding his life. And he that fails to guard his mouth will experience destruction. And that's in Proverbs 13:3. The good book tells you that. Scripture also says that a man will experience joy by the answer of his mouth, and how wonderful it is when words are spoken in due season or the right time. And that's also in Proverbs 15:23. So the point I'm trying to say, guard your mouth and tongue, okay? Because, the spirit of Delilah's mission is to get info, to get intel. And that sounds like the enemy. That sounds like Satan. Any person trying to get all this information and not telling you anything about them, be cautious, okay? You might be dealing with a eunuch of the enemy. Like I said, the spirit of Delilah is assigned to destroy all men and women of prominence, people and with purpose in life. And any pastor or leader who's in ministry, that is a trophy for them, okay, for the enemy. So the devil sends women to churches who have the spirit to terminate the church and cause the church leader to commit emotional and physical adultery and fornication. Her role is through the door of relationships or marriages. She uses the engine to find out their strengths so that she can destroy them and draw out the power of her opponent, removing him or her from their place of prominence. Isn't that sad? That this spirit can be in someone and this person won't realize that they are being used by a spirit of Delilah to destroy others. I mean, how many people do you know like this? I mean, once again, though, I refer to Delilah as her. This spirit has no gender, okay? It can affect men or females, okay? So I'm not going to just, people's habits to think, Jezzy, it's always a women. No, folks, Jezzy's and Delilah's can be male or female, but with Delilah, it's usually more towards the female. But it is in both, and I've seen it in both. And it seems like it's like that these days. It's more so, if anything, and I see a lot of men with this spirit of the Delilah. All right, so I'm going to hold on one second. I'm sorry, I'm just getting all my notes together. I just wanted to get this so I can go through it. Okay. All right, so like we know is that she has no gender, so it can be men and female. So let's see. Remember what I was talking about? The definition of Delilah is spelled in Hebrews as Deliylah. Delilah, which is to mean pinning with desire. Okay? And pinning with desire. The meaning of her name is self-explanatory. She pins you down with desire. Her whole being, presence, speech, look, and action exudes seduction. She makes her victims suffer mentally and physically with desires for her, and she is the epitome of seductress. Now, their trait and character, she is highly skilled in taming men through seduction. Even the strongest of lions will be beguiled by her if they do not stay alert in the spirit. Delilah is after people of prominence and uniqueness, people in the spotlight, anointed ministers of God, gifted men and women, and those who are in effective relationships or marriages. And her assignment is to drain your power and remove you in that place of power and make you ordinary like everyone else. She will fool you by being in church every Sunday, at every Bible study, and every all-night prayer. And she will be punctual and be involved in many, if not all, church activities as her way to get close to the pastor or church leaders. She wants his head on her lap. Boy, and she's trying. She is sex hungry. She is filled with ungodly and perverse sexual desires. She seems to know exactly what she wants and is usually oriented around power, outward appearance, and money. And she will prey on any such man, whether he is taken or not. Day after day, she will keep trying, persuading, pressuring a man to leave his wife and to sleep with her, to run away with her, or commit any other sins with her. This she will persuade softly until he listens to her voice. It will take a man who truly loves and fears the Lord to overcome her pleas. She is like a jack of all trades. She knows the tricks, navigations, and avenue points and steps in getting a man's attention. It is only when a man fears the Lord and has humility that he can overcome her ploys. She will try to get close to your man in order to demolish you. She will do this by gaining your man confidence through politeness, kindness. Then, as time goes by, your man might begin to open up about your relationship to her because she does the same about hers. She will begin to play Miss Shoulders to Lie On and Miss Good Listener. Little by little, a bond will develop, and before you know it, she has your man's heart, and he can't wait to see her and talk to her. Great anointed men like Samson fell because of her guile. And the Lord tells us we need to be careful and guard our hearts, because this is the kind of people we need to be careful of. These type of Delilahs that will snatch your man or wife away, okay? I had a this is funny because I had a boyfriend when I was younger, when I was a teenager, and I had a woman named Delilah steal him away from me. So it's funny that when I study this, I can totally relate to this because the lady's name was even named Delilah. That's so funny. All right, well, she's a homewrecker, basically, or a man homewrecker. So I can't say she, but she and he, they're homewreckers. And she or he will wreck homes, marriages, and relationships because of her unbecoming sex addictions. A lot of these people have addictions with sex. She is a seductress, and the spirit is skilled in luring and taming men and women. And you'll find yourself being drawn to this sort of person without any particular reason, and wonder why you are so excited to see them. It's important to always put on the full armor of God, that you may stand against these attacks, because this is an attack, you guys. When you come up against these type of people that have the spirit of Delilah, and they're trying to wreck your marriage and trying to still break your marriage and break your children's family, you're breaking your family. These are the type of people that do it. And Delilah is out to find out where you are strong and how to turn their strength, this strength into vulnerability and weakness. So she's always trying to figure out what your weakness is, what she can, like what your weaknesses are, basically everything, all your secrets that you don't want people to know. Her assignment is to take your power, terminate your strength, imprison you through your weaknesses so that you can be idle and ordinary like the rest of the world. Like I said, she has vast likable qualities, such as it leaves you confused on what you really like about her. But this is a form of gaslighting, because that's how they work to your benefit. And she's also a chameleon. She fits everywhere as a perfect good person. It sounds exactly like a Jezzy. However, those whom she has stung in the past know about her ugly side. She's very knowledgeable about what men and women want and need emotionally, physically, hence she knows how to treat a man like a king. Any woman's man being targeted by her, if the lady of this man is not treating him like a king, Delilah is more than willing to do so. She'll be willing to do everything that you don't, and do it exceptionally well. Okay? She knows the vulnerable areas of a man and how to minister to them like a mother holds and comforts her son when he has fallen down. And she is polite, gentle, and quiet. She will not criticize a man because she realizes that this causes him to be defensive. Rather, she is qualified in the language of praise. Praise is her native language. She knows every vowel, lyric, synonym of praise to say to a man. You will discern the spirit in a person who praises your partner more than you. Even petty things that do not need praise, you will find that this person with this spirit praises anyway. It is because this spirit is after your relationship. She especially takes advantage of a situation whereby your partner is not receiving much praise from you. She is able to make your man feel more secure within a short space of time through her gentleness. She is trained and gifted in this, and Delilah builds relationships with her prey founded on safety, praise, peace, and warmth. However, Her motives for each is the opposite. And she will make you believe that you have some kind of deep connection together and that you were meant to be best friends or soulmates, even though this is completely inappropriate and you are already with someone. The person with this spirit will indirectly pressure you daily, okay? This is a daily pressure. And until they do it daily, it's like a form of gaslighting. Like, you know how Jezzies do this? They pressure you daily until you actually believe it, okay? This spirit is really persistent, in other words, okay? So this person with a spirit will pester you daily with sweet words. Do not think a no will stop them from pursuing you. The only way to win is cutting off all lines of communication with this person, okay? Just like how you would do a narcissist. She is after the favor of God upon you and your family and your business, your marriage. She wants to destroy it, okay? She will do all she can through a seduction to make sure this favor departs from you and you are bound in shame. And as far as like her makeup, beautiful hair, sexual appealing clothes, shoes are Delilah's physical armor. And likewise, a man with this spirit will be very well groomed in a sexually attractive way and usually indirectly splashing out his money or financial assets, you know, like while the believer puts on the spiritual armor, she makes powerful influence through her image because she is accustomed to idolatry. So, however, genuine love and reverence for God in a person's heart can overcome this side of Delilah. And she will design a secluded environment in order to trap a man into sleeping with her. She will make sure that the man and herself are alone so that she can seduce him. She will show up unintentionally without her clothes on, with trying to innocently mimic Bathsheba in order to seduce him. So only a man who flees from her will escape sin. Okay? So that is the mission of Delilah and also Jezebel. So, I mean, this to me is both. So I'm just going to put it as both because a lot of stuff in here is also a Jezebel and they're very, very alike. But this has happened to a lot of people and I just thought this would be a great thing to learn. So that way you know when your family's in danger and you got these kind of people lurking around in your circle, especially your husband's circle or your wife's circle. Watch out, okay, as a Christian. Guard your house. Because the enemy wants to kill, steal, and destroy. And he's after your marriage and your happiness. So I hope you learn a lot. God bless you guys. Have a great day. Bye-bye.